I ran out of time in class to discuss each of the areas of study for Module 6, and in particular I want to go discuss two areas of Chapter 12 in the core econ text that we gave some coverage to, but not ample coverage to. So let's talk about this question 4 in the readiness assurance process quizzes. I think I started talking about it in class, but my memory is that's when we ran out of time. So which of the following statements is or are true? One, national defense is a public good because it is both non-rival and non-excludable. Two, cable television is a private good because it is excludable. Three, ocean fisheries are a common pool resource because they are non-excludable but rival. And this gets us to the taxonomy of goods. Let's go over that in the next panel. Which of the following statements is or are true? National defense is a public good. Yep, that's true. It's both non-rival and non-excludable. Ocean fisheries, common pool, they are non-excludable but rival. Yep. And then cable television is a private good because it is excludable. Well, it is excludable, but it's non-rival. So no, it's not a private good because it's non-rival. And so it's the answer would be 1 and 3, and that's number C. I was thinking I'd get to number 5 in this same screencast, but I think I'll do that in a later screencast. So if we think about two characteristics of any good. One is, are goods rival? If one person uses them, are they available to other people or not? Versus non-rival. If something is rival, that's like a loaf of bread. If I use it, you don't get it. If it's non-rival, I can use it and you can use it, and neither of us diminish each other's enjoyment of it. So, and then finally, the other quality is excludability. Excludable and non-excludable. And we've been talking so far in this course almost exclusively about these private goods that are both excludable and rival. If there's reasonable level of competition and no externalities, the market can do a pretty good job of allocating resources when it comes to private goods. So an example would be a loaf of bread. The opposite at the end of the spectrum are goods that are non-excludable and non-rival. And generally the market has a hard time producing the desirable, socially desirable amount of a public good. We call these public goods because of their non-excludability. That if a private provider were to produce the good, it'd be really difficult to get enough people to pay because of this non-excludability. If I produce it and sell it to some people, well, everybody else can use it without paying for it. So we get this free rider problem. So sometimes we can argue that the market can provide some or perhaps even the desirable quantity of the good. Broadcast TV, we talked about in class. National defense. These are examples. And then the other goods that are rival but non-excludable, these are called common pool resources. And an example would be exactly the ocean fishery mentioned in the question. And a lot of ocean fisheries are now managed quite carefully by government, but it used to be that they were managed as common pool resources, and Sometimes a market can do okay. So if we talk oyster beds, mussel beds, where lobster fishing, where we can designate areas that belong to one particular person, then that person has an interest in harvesting sustainably, restocking the resource, etc. But for fish that move around, cod, salmon, tuna, those kind of property rights are difficult or impossible to assign over any particular group of fish. And so oftentimes they've just been, hey, you send out a boat, you catch the fish, and see how it works. And those kinds of fisheries have crashed over and over again in history, and even now. So now we often regulate via international treaty ocean fisheries that are in international waters. And the point is, when such goods are not regulated carefully, market participants overuse those because since they're non-excludable, they are rival. If I catch a tuna, it's not there for you, but they're non-excludable when they're arranged as a common pool resource, and so people harvest them as though they're free, even though they're valuable resources, and there's real opportunity cost to them. And then finally, these goods that are excludable but non-rival, these are called club goods. So cable television would be a good example. A private swim club that wasn't too crowded, etc. So back to that question.